All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig on our brand new YouTube channel. That is Chig and Ola's Combat Show. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's somehow the debut of his own show, own channel. It's Ola. Say hello to the people.
Yeah, man. It's nice to be back on this brand new channel. Um, yeah, we've been talking about doing it on here for a minute. Um, you did the review, the after show
Yeah.
of the Conor Cerrone show on here, which
Uh-huh.
I painfully missed because I really did have a lot to say that night. But you was with me the whole night on the phone. You know how much people I had in my gaff. It
I
was
love it
near
because
enough.
my man was talking like, "Oh, you ain't gonna be up, bro. I'm gonna be up."
Yeah, he
Ola
was he
was
was
up.
right up with
Ola
us,
was
man.
up. Ola was active.
I was saving, man.
Yeah, active. All
Yeah,
right, so
but
we haven't obviously had a chance to talk about it. So I know this is the 247 preview, but
oh
this is
yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
We
I
haven't
mean,
really had a
we
chance to.
haven't we
I mean, we've
haven't
had
really.
like group chats, but we haven't really had a chance to like properly talk about what happened that night. Give
Yeah,
me your takes on 246. What was
I
your
mean,
thought process?
a lot of the card was really good, but you know the main event was, it just threw me, man. The main event, I mean, Connor. If we look at it, right, and this is one thing that I want to really put out there, right? Connor is very, very explosive in the way he starts fight, and
Mhm.
this is traditional of Connor to do. Um, and we also know that Cerrone is very, very well. He's slow, but the slowness, I take it down to maybe downloading data from his opponent, and then he picks it up in the later rounds. Um, Obviously, in the last, say, 10 fights he's lost like 6 or 7 of them. So I was thinking, coming off the back of loss, Conor also coming off the back of a loss. He's been more active than Conor. There was so many pluses going for Cerrone into this, but at the same time, when you look at the way the whole fight was put forward, how he was handpicked, all of that, you think, okay, maybe in hindsight, everything then made sense, you know. Um, but I gotta give it to Conor, because I'm not gonna shit on him on this performance. But at the same time, I thought Cerrone didn't show up. I thought it was, I wouldn't say it was ill prepared, because I don't know how much of a preparation, but I know he was sparring with Tyron Woodley. So I wouldn't go as far as say it was ill prepared, because it was really preparing with
Mm.
with some duns out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would be harsh to say it was ill prepared, but when critics do come out and say maybe the brights were too light, was too much for him, and he doesn't show up on big stages, then there is evidence to show that
Yeah,
pattern.
and that
You
happens.
know,
Yeah,
the,
I wanted him to shut Ariel's mouth up so
yeah,
badly already. Because don't get me wrong, I picked Connor. You know this. I did pick Connor.
yeah,
But I
you
thought
did.
it might be a struggle. I thought you might have to come through a war. And I ain't gonna lie to you, my bro. I know I've seen a lot of BS from boxing. We
Mm.
saw the UFC equivalent of that. I don't care what anyone tells me. As soon as I started seeing shoulder barges wobbling, I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm
Bro, I couldn't
I'm
I
out.
couldn't believe I couldn't believe what I was seeing, because
Oh, come on,
I went
son.
I went back and watched it. I watched that fight about 25 times since it's happened. Like, I still go back and watch it, and I find different things that keeps coming to me and saying, I don't know if this fight should have gone the way it did. Because I mean, Teddy Atlas, and we both fuck with him heavy, and he's somebody that knows the the art of combat sports. Period. Yeah, not just boxing, not just when it comes to fighting. he knows one or two things about it. And there's one thing he did pick out. I put it in our WhatsApp group. And he did pick out that the way Conor came in and Cerrone ducked the initial thing and came on the side of him. That momentum there is a takedown move. And if that doesn't happen, then the shoulder shrugs, you then don't lean into it. You try and get out of it. But each time that Conor was coming from down there, Donald was leaning more towards it. And I'm thinking to myself, this ain't normal. You know, the more you watch it, the more it doesn't look normal. But look, I'm not here to I'm not here. I'm not here. You know what I mean? I'm not here to shit on both fighters. We know what it takes for somebody to get into, in the cage in the first place. So I'm not gonna try and disrespect the sport that I love like that. We just started this channel, and I don't want to start on that note. So we need people on our side. We need people to get on board with us.
I was worried about offending the hardcores. Me, I don't care.
I know.
I am the Stephen A. Smith of this partnership. I would say it straight. That looked like some BS.
You've seen me in the chat the whole night, and like I said, I'm leaning towards A. Smith, but not in the fact that he threw it, but in the fact that the lights were too bright and they folded.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go. You know what I mean? I'll go that far. That the lights were too bright and they folded.
To me, why I flirt with the idea of it potentially being more than that is the shoulder strike thing, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't care how strong someone is. You ain't knocking me out with your shoulder, bro. You ain't wobbling me with your shoulder, bro.
Apparently, Conor just don't only have a left hand; he has a left shoulder as well, bro.
It ain't happening. You ain't wobbling me with no shoulder.
Well, apparently, Conor has a left shoulder. What I want to say and what I've been saying is this left shoulder. There's 3 men that he wants. I want to see how effective these shoulder strikes really are. When he faces any of the 3 candidates, that's that's out there for him. But one thing's for sure. Let's be serious here, right? Conor handpicked the fight. He's the one that that called the shots. He wanted that 170 for a reason. And the excuses that people were making for Conor, that he broke his nose and for Donald Cerrone, that he broke his nose and he broke his orbital, he had an orbital fracture. Cerrone himself has come out and said, I broke nothing.
I saw a video of him denying his, because it was on Twitter, he denied it on, right? And I saw a video just before you put it in the group. Right. And I was like, exactly.
So if you didn't break anything and everybody's been making excuses for you that you broke your nose and you broke your orbital eye socket,
mainly
then what the fuck? Then what? Yeah. Oh, they're selling it. Whatever it is they're selling, it was catching fire. So now that Cowboy has not come out and said that did not happen categorically, and I'll believe Cowboy over Cerrone. Cowboy over Joe Rogan in this instance, because he was the one that's in there in the cage, and he said I broke nothing. So if he didn't break nothing, what happened? What happened in the cage? What happened?
This is the thing, and I know we're digressing a little bit, and we will get it back to.
No, we need to talk. We need to talk about because we haven't really touched on it.
Yeah, we haven't really spoken about it together. It's true, yeah.
And we've had a lot of hindsight, so we can give more context to it.
That event is still bigger than this one that we're about to repeat.
Exactly, because there's this lot don't even have a lot of meat to it, but it's got maybe three people that I really want to talk about. So it's good to talk about 246 anyway,
you're right.
And 248.
But I think for me, what was really particularly disappointing about this whole fallout was, for me, this is why I think Joe Rogan needs to have just a little bit more responsibility of the things he says. Because he came out strong that first Monday after the fight, talking all this smack about Stephen A. Smith this, Stephen A. Smith that. Oh, what is he talking about? He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I swear that Stephen A. Smith is going to be laughing when he sees that denial there from Cowboy.
Yeah, he needs to have people. Oh, what you mean? He suffered a kick. Stephen A. Smith wasn't talking about no kick. Oh, he had a broken orbital bone. You've just seen Jon Jones denies there was a broken orbital bone. But you wanted to ridicule this man for him saying the same thing that most of us were saying in the fight, which was, that's some bullshit. That is no bullshit. I don't know about you. As soon as I saw the fight, my first reaction was, so what kind of bullshit? I waited all this time for that.
Bro.
Time for that. So for me, that was where I got annoyed. Because I'll give him credit now, because since he said those comments, I think Joe Rogan realized the storm he started. I thought, you know what, I'll shut my mouth now moving forward. But it was just like, to me, I just thought to myself, you're trying hard to sell this. You're trying hard to sell this. Like,
look, we know one thing for sure. We know one thing for sure. Is a Conor Dick Rider. That's number one.
Of course.
Number two, is very good friends with Cowboy.
Yeah, true.
So we know those two things.
Let's just be honest here. Conor's the cash cow. You know, figures came out, funny enough, just before the show, came out and showed that Conor is the current ESPN record breaker.
Of course he is.
He got over 1 million buys for his comeback. Just for coming back. Conor basically rolled in, showing his
Mayweather gave that guy the blueprint to do the things that's happening right now. He gave him the blueprint, and we can't knock him for using that blueprint. He's giving him the blueprint. You know, partner yourself, buy yourself out, make your demands. All of these things, everything is structured around Conor to the point where it's only him. You see, when people fighting Conor, people that fight Conor now, it's not a question of, remember when we was saying before the fight that Conor doesn't have to win a fight anymore. Really, it doesn't really matter whether he wins or loses. It will always be a money fight, because now everybody that gets in the cage with Conor don't only thank Conor for blessing them with the fight, because they know it's the biggest payday of their entire career.
Oh yeah,
put all the wages together that they've been collecting throughout, say Usman, all of the fights that he's had up until the 1920 that is at, put all the wages together. Conor's payday is bigger than that. And that was the same thing with Cowboy. Look how much fights Cowboy's had, and the money he earned from this one fight, it's more than everything is earned together. That's what Daniel Cormier was saying. That Stipe, I love you, but one fight with Brock, and I would have earned everything plus more. In one fight with Brock, I will give you your shot when I fuck Brock up, but let me deal with Brock. Get this money, then we'll dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll come back to you.
I'll come back to you, but I gotta get this money. You know what I mean? I got 2 fights left, but obviously it didn't really happen with Brock. And then he honored his word. And when I'm done it with Stipe, so Conor is in that bracket now where it's the same thing with Ronda. At the time when Ronda was popping, one fight with Ronda, you earn in peace because she was box office, you know. And the people that are champions after that, they're not really box office like that. I don't know if you saw the interview with Jon Jones on ESPN with A. Smith, and they were saying, listen, we know you've been a champion, we know you've been here, but you know, you don't command the kind of pay-per-views that certain other people that's been in the sport is commanding. Why do you think that is? You know? So the man is saying, well, it's either their character or they're selling this, that, and the other.
Do you know what?
And this is what Masvidal is trying to get to. That listen, Usman is always going to be here. but let me go and get that Conor money. Even Usman, that was saying at first, little man, go and sit down. It's not saying if Conor wants it, I ain't gonna turn down a chance to make a hell of a money and beat up the boy while he's, you know what I mean?
I'm not going to pick Usman, though, let's be honest. Apart from anything, Usman is a terrible stylistic matchup for Conor. But I think in my view, I feel like, and this it will go to answering this particular comment from Sim D. I don't think it's that. I think that's an easy way out. I feel like, let's be honest here. Like MMA fans weren't saying the exact same thing. I saw Twitter when that happened, and people were mad. People were like saying, "Oh, so Cowboy folded then. Cowboy gave up. Cowboy tapped out. Cowboy just took the money and ran." Cowboy is still getting those comments now. Just go and look at
He's still getting it. He's still getting it now. He's still getting it now.
But here's the thing. For me, Stephen A. Smith plays that Charlemagne role. That kind of, I'm just going to say what is on most people's mind, right? And
he's so good at it. He talks shit.
They need to be easy. Like, just because somebody else has a slightly different point of view than you doesn't mean that they don't belong in your precious MMA. No, that's the point of embracing it. That's the point of embracing a wider audience. Sometimes people are going to have a wider audience appeal, and that's the thing. For me, we love controversy. I agree with that, Archie. I 100% agree with it. It is a bit WWE, but let's be honest here. Let's take away all kind of hardcore titles, MMA titles. When you saw those shoulder strikes, tell me there wasn't a part of you that said, "Oh, that's some bullshit."
Bro, every time I watched it, I'm still saying it till now. Every time I watched it, I can't believe what I'm saying.
For me, what annoyed me was they were trying to sell this thing like, oh, well, Conor's been working on this shoulder barges on the gym. I'm like, shut up. I actually turned it off. As soon as I started hearing bars like, we've been working on this in the gym, and this is an underrated move, was, I think, the bar that Joe wrote. Like, you trying to take me for a dickhead? You trying to take me for a dickhead? I turned it off. I got annoyed. I got angry.
Oh,
no, you clearly.
Oh my God. Look, the whole of the MMA world, right, would not accept. And I can't understand it. I understand why. Because they don't want to fall into that rabbit hole of what's going on with boxing or what boxing has been tarred with. Right? So they don't want to go there.
That's what it is. And you're spot on. That is the very point I'm making. They're trying to make it seem all this legitimate and clean and this. Whereas for me, this is where my hardcore boxing side comes in. Because I know bullshit. I know boxing's been tarred with that. So I can see bullshit when I see it. You can't be telling me that these shoulder strikes are dazzling this guy so badly that he's setting him up for the head kick. Oh, come on. I've been watching, I'm not a profess, like I've been watching MMA for years and years and years and years and years. But I've been watching it long enough to know that Donald Cerrone has taken kicks harder than that shoulder barge. Punches harder than that shoulder barge. I don't care what angle his head was at. No, you can't be telling me that. I don't care what he's been working on in the gym. Come the fuck on, bruv. Come on. Stop it. Stop it would be my response to that. I'm sorry. It annoys me when people are trying to legitimize clearly the sell job that Joe Rogan is trying to do. And then trying to do, like, don't get me wrong, Stephen A. Smith, you're either going to love him or hate him.
Oh, yeah. I don't always rock with what he says.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not a huge fan of him. But what I didn't understand was why people were piling on, and those are the same motherfuckers that were saying the same thing in the first place. So
you know what really got me? What really got me? The bit that really, really, really got me was, why would Uriah Hall and Nate Diaz say something like that? If they saying Stephen A. Smith was right, they went further than Stephen A. Smith.
I didn't know about Uriah Hall.
Bro, They went further. Uriah Hall.
I apologize. Yeah, I know.
I got the evidence, and I did put it in the group. If you go back in the group, you see in there from Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall said this whole thing was fixed, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa. If Uriah is one thing, Nate's saying it because we know what Nate's all about. You know what I mean? if Nate's not winning, you heard what he said to The Rock, innit? He said The Rock, you know what I mean? Fuck The Rock, The Rock can get it. The Rock can get it as well.
You know? But then he also went, I like ballers though. I like ballers.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But one thing's for sure, if Uriah Hall is saying it, because he don't say a lot, Uriah Hall. He don't really get out there. It's not really, that out there sort of fighter. But when he said it, and I thought to myself, why is he saying it? Why? What? And the fact that a month before the fight, there was a rumor that came out. I did put the link in the chat as well. The rumor that came out that this was going to happen. Chelsonen addressed it. But a month before the fight, people were already saying that Cowboy was going to throw the fight. Why are they saying that? Why? It was on Matt Serra's show as well. Mm-hmm. On Matt Serra's show, they were talking about it. And Matt Serra's like, I don't understand why people the guy that was co-hosting with him said the reason why there was more flow to it is because a month ago, before the fight, there was a rumor that this was going to happen. Or the fight was going to pan out like this. Mm-hmm. And then the way it happened, it put more fuel to the fire. Mm-hmm. So now people are running with it. If he lasted in the first round, early second round, and whatever happened, you can say, you know what, it's just one of those things. Even if he got blitzed the way Aldo got blitzed in 13 seconds, I'll say, yeah, that happens. But the way this happened and the whole sequence of the fight, I'm struggling with it. And I want to leave integrity and with the sport that, I really fuck with like that. And it's hard. It's difficult, especially on this fight. We've seen other fights since then, and I don't catch a whiff of anybody doing anything like that. And I'd like to think Cowboy is put so much into the sport over the years to not want to question his integrity. And that's the only chink of bit of respect that I'm holding on for him. That I think he's done enough, over 50 fights in the UFC.
Well, I suppose that brings me to my next question for you. Is it Cowboy done now?
No, he wants to come back.
No, for you, is he done?
Gatekeeper. Yeah, gatekeeper. I don't think he would, in my eyes, never be more than a top 7, top 5 guy. I don't even see him as a top 5 anymore. Maybe top 7. And it can dwindle between 155 and 170, which is easier for him because it can then fall into what fight he really wants to. There'll be more fights because it can dwindle between the two divisions as he pleases. So if anybody wants a gatekeeping and wants to get into that top 5, you come through Cowboy. If you get it done in the first round, 40 seconds, good luck to you. If you get it done in the third round, good luck to you. I don't think he's going to get main events anymore. Definitely not. Because now we know 100% for a fact it's not a main event guy. The lights are too bright. Lights are way too bright for you.
After by Dana White, so don't.
Oh, it'll work. It'll work, but I don't think he's going to headline any more shows. I don't think so.
If you see him on a fight night main event, I can see that.
Yeah, maybe fight night, not pay per view.
Yeah, not pay-per-view.
Not pay-per-view. Yeah. He's never going to do one of those again. I think that's it for him.
Okay. I suppose that's covered up. Well, I would have been up a long time had I had you on after the fight.
Yeah, bro.
I'd have been too angry.
I couldn't sleep, man. How you know what I mean? How do you lose 100 pounds in 40 seconds, blood?
I can't believe you back there. I can't believe you back there.
Fam, bro. I was so confident because Conor been out for 18 months, bro.
No chance. Listen,
this guy's been active. I'm
trying not to say that Cowboy failed. There ain't no way.
It was a big fail, man. It was a big fail.
No way. Dana decided off on the cash cow getting walked. There's no way.
Bro.
I just thought to myself.
I was just thinking, look, it's a fight. Anything can happen. And Cowboy has been more active than Conor. Cowboy has more tools to win in the box than Conor. There was a lot. When you look at the fundamentals, there was a lot going for Cowboy over Conor. A lot of experts were saying it as well. If the fight went further than, even you were saying it, if it went further than 2 rounds, it's over for Conor. You know what I mean? Because they had more tools in the box to win the fight. That's why. You know, I certainly didn't think it was going to go like that. You know, so these things happen, and we have to live with it. Well, I don't have to live with it. He has to live with it. But yeah, it's gonna be one of those that it's always gonna spark conversation. I mean, the Twitter beef that is you know, Conor jumped into A. Smith's comments telling him to apologize. Nate jumped into the conversation saying to Joe Rogan and fucking Conor to apologize to A. Smith. It's been a fucking whole load of madness. You know what I mean? Since the whole thing started. So, you know, it's one of those. You just have to move on from it. Otherwise, we're going to end up burying Cowboy without even realizing it. And I don't want to do that to somebody that's been so influential to the sport. So I just want to be respectful and leave it there. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's talk about 247. Obviously, that's why people are here. Big up to everyone that is watching. I hope you stuck a like on this video. Obviously, it's a brand new channel for us. So the way you help us put us on the map is by hitting that like button and letting people
share it
around. You know,
do all of that.
We got 30 subscribers, but there's 60 of us. So I know YouTube aren't doing their notification thing properly. So make sure you are active and you get people noticing the video. So yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so 247. Obviously,
let's talk about Black Beast first with Ilya Latifi. One thing Black Beast is looking for, you know, I watched the little interview with him, Chevy, and Jon Jones on the Mac Life earlier on. Shout out to that channel.
Me too. I watched it last night. Yeah.
So you know, one thing that is it was Jon Jones in the heavyweight division. When they asked him, how do you think Jon Jones is gonna face that? Hey, he's gonna do good. Yeah, come over. But
I love Black Beast. No.
But he's saying, listen, I'm after the most knockouts. He's one knockout away for having the most knockout record in the heavyweight division. He's knocked a lot of motherfuckers out. Yeah. He's knocked people out for sure. And let's be
real here, he's favorite to get this one.
His favorite to get this one, and if he gets this one, it's currently tied. If he gets this one, he's going to have the most, and that in itself could get him the performance bonus for the night. So,
legitimately one of my favorite fighters. Good dude as well. Like, he's just a good guy.
I mean, very lighthearted. He doesn't take nothing seriously.
Just literally the sort of things that he does. Like, there was one time where apparently his town was basically just flooded. And my man just spent the next 2-3 hours just trying to rescue people from this flood. Yeah. I mean, The guy is a good brother. He really is. He's not just a joker that says his balls is hot. It's just he's a good
absolutely.
guy, genuinely good guy. And some of the things he puts on, he's such a clown. Let's just say, look at his Insta, and you'll wonder if a lot of those people are okay. That's all I'm going to say. But yes,
I like him a lot. I like him a lot. You know what I mean? Is somebody that's put a lot into the game, and you can't not fuck with the Black Beast. So for me,
how do you look at this fight for him?
I think he gets what he's looking for. I think he gets the knockout. I certainly hope he gets it. It's another one. If you look at his history as well and how he got himself into this guy went to do. I think he done about 10 years in jail or something crazy like that in Houston, and he's come out, turned his life around, came into the sport, and he's just literally turned his life around. Most people go to jail, spend that amount of time in jail, and they're right back to the old life that they're living. But this guy literally, changed his life, and he saw combat sport as a way out, and he grabbed it with both hands. And since then, he's gone from strength to strength. I just think the only thing that really eluded him is that strap, is that heavyweight strap. But again, he got to the number one contender. He's been number one in the heavyweight division, and he's been a contender. And to some people, when you're competing against the best, when you're competing,
I agree.
All right, so I know. Look, I know you're a Conor man, so I ain't gonna lie, but I can't say nice things about Conor without being biased. I've said time and time again, I love the fact that Conor is back in the cage. I want to see him in the cage. As a fight fan, I want to see him in the octagon. That's what we pay money to see. When Conor fights, I pay to see it. You know what I mean? So I might want to see him get his ass whipped, but at the same time, when he beats people in the fashion that he does, you have to respect it. You have to respect it. And I love what he brings to the sport. He brought a lot of eyeballs. I love his character, and it doesn't mean that I can't like another fighter. It's just, I like what Conor does, and yeah, man, you know what I mean. Give me a break, time break. Give me a break. Give me a break, man. So with Black Beast, he's one of these guys where I think the one thing that really got away from him is the strap. He didn't really get there, but he'd be happy with his career. You know what I mean? If he packs it all up after this fight, I'm not saying he is, but if he did, I don't think he'll be that disappointed with his career, considering considering the path. Like I said, don't forget the time that he did in jail late into his life. So it's not like it's one of those that really started from the ground up, winning Olympics and doing all of that stuff. No, he did. That wasn't his path. That's not how he came into combat sports. So you have to really give it up for him, from where he started. But yeah, I see him getting his hand raised, and I really hope he wins the fight. I really do.
Okay. Obviously, just going through the 247 card now. It's actually what I'm trying to get up. It's not as exciting as the 246 card. There's some standout fights. We just talked about one of them. Anytime Black Beast is around, I like to watch him fight. But other than that, Juan Adams, if you like that kind of geezer. Let's just talk about the two main. Let's talk about the co-main and main. My girl was back in action. Valentina. The girl that attracts me and scares me all at the same breath. Valentina Shevchenko versus, and I'm going to butcher her last name, Caitlin Chukagian. Who's pretty good in the sense that I think she's a useful contender. She's tall,
Yeah.
lanky, boxes at range when she does strike, but likes to grapple as well. What do you think?
I should let you talk about this one really, cause this this is this this is your girl. This is your girl.
I know, I ain't got
I
nothing
mean,
to say other than Shevchenko wins. Simple as that.
okay. Look, she's got more reach than Shevchenko. Way taller. Our ground game is right up with it, and this is one of our. This is probably the biggest fight that that she's had to date. Obviously, a title fight. Shevchenko. This is our third defense in that division. So it's for me personally, I don't see anybody dethroning Shevchenko in the whole of that division.
So say it's the
I
same
don't
with
see it.
Nunes. Nunes and Shevchenko, to me, are so much better than everybody else in their division. It's inevitable they're going to meet. It's inevitable they'll meet for a third time.
Yeah.
You already heard Shevchenko talking about it again. I'm with her. Whilst I thought she lost the first fight, I thought she won the second fight, in my opinion. But they obviously gave it to Nunes. And it'll be interesting. At 135, we know that, Shevchenko doesn't really put on a lot of weight. So she'll probably come into that at 133. And it'll be interesting to see who wins. Who wins out of that?
I mean, I still think the way she knocked out Jessica I, to me, is one of the most outrageous, brutal knockouts you will see in mixed martial arts. It's ridiculous. I mean, I did say that night, like, how are you going to be called Jessica I? You don't see that coming. It's just, you know what I mean? It was written in the stars. It was just written in the stars. Like, Jesus Christ, how did you not see that? So, I mean, Shevchenko is just, she's a warrior, man. And you got to respect, what the work that she's put in. I don't know whether there's anything for her until Amanda Nunes leaves. I know Sai don't really care for Amanda Nunes like that, but I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything Shevchenko can do until Nunes leaves, and then that division would then be wide open for Shevchenko to move up and try and do something.
Does anyone jump up from 115 to give her trouble?
No,
maybe.
Bro, she's way too big for any of them. Way too big. Way too big.
Whatever.
Nah, bro, I don't care. I don't care. Weili Zhang. I don't care, bro. No, none of them is big enough for Chevy, man. You know what I mean? None of them. I don't see it. I really don't.
I think that would be a good fight. I ain't gonna lie,
bro. I don't.
I think that would be a really good fight.
I do not see it, man. I don't. It's hard to see.
Obviously, in the
fight.
I think Chevy uses her aggression against her because Weili Zhang is a very aggressive, come forward fight. But FYI, I think she absolutely destroys Joanna. It's just my opinion. Especially after Joanna's been winding her up with all this coronavirus jabs.
Bruh.
I'm like, bruh, you trying to angle the beast out here.
Bruh, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's probably, one thing that Joanna did that's really, it's not. Oh, Sai is live tonight, man. Jesus Christ. Yo, shout out to my man. But yeah, I mean, mocking somebody that a whole people is dying of this virus is one way to really ask for something that you're not gonna you wish you never asked for, and that's waking up the inner devil. Maybe you were just gonna get the devil from Weili Zhang, but now you don't woke up something way deeper, way darker. You know, in Whaley's own,
I already thought she was
and I
gonna
think
lose.
it could go really bad for Joanna.
Yeah, man. I honestly, I think she gets knocked out straight up. TKO, second round. I'll give her credit. She'll get out of the first round. Second round, TKO.
But I want to give Joanna more than that. I want to give her more than that.
I know you like you some Joanna.
I really like Joanna. I think she's been wicked in that division, and she's only lost 2 fights to Rose. You know, no one else has really dealt with her in that division. No one else has done it.
So do you feel like anyone like a Rose or even a Joanna again or
could step up to Shevchenko?
Even, who's the former champ, the Brazilian chick?
Jessica Andrade.
Andrade. You think they could jump up to 125?
They could, but would they be bigger and stronger than Shevchenko?
Yeah, I can't see it.
That's the question you got to ask yourself.
Can't see
you
it.
know? And for me, what Shevchenko done to Joanna in that 5-round fight, the power differential. It's not even the size differential. Forget that. The power differential, the way she just ragdolled Joanna for 5 rounds, just punished her. She wasn't even trying to get her out of there. If she wanted to, she could have. I don't think she was even trying to get her out of there. I just think she just wanted to prove a point and just send a message. Like, if this is like your top, this is your number one in that division, and this is what I just done to her for 5 rounds, alternate rounds, maybe some of them were 10-7. You know, you think to yourself, what the hell? No one's coming to do nothing to Shevchenko here. So, you know, we digress. To me, Shevchenko on the night, I'll say second. All right, I'll go to 3rd round, and that's me giving Chookagian a lot of respect going into this, fight, because I think she's really, really prepared for it, and I think she'll bring her A game. But will it be good enough to get somebody like Shevchenko out of there and take a strap from her? Absolutely not. So I will definitely I'll definitely go with Shevchenko on this one.
Yeah, good. Okay, let's talk about the main event. Jon Jones.
Let's get to the meat and potato of this card.
Jon Jones versus Dominick Reyes. Now, just so people know, we'll also be talking about, because it's next week, so we might as well mention it, and that's Corey Anderson versus Jan Blachowicz. So, we'll obviously talk about that because it's the same division, it's the same title picture, so we'll talk about that as well. What do you think about Jon? So for me, the obvious answer is Jon Jones wins, LOL. I get that, right? But there's sometimes I just think to myself, when he becomes overly concerned with what someone's tweeting, what someone's saying, and the way he almost reacts these days like someone who's insecure of the new guys. Like, he feels like he's really insecure of him. Whereas with Anthony, not Davis, what's his name? Smith, right? Anthony Smith was generally very respectful, was confident in himself, but felt like he beat Jon Jones, and in essence was dazzled by him. And we know what happened. Thiago Santos couldn't speak English, so Jon Jones wasn't able to verbally spar with him. But we saw how far Santos pushed Jones. I mean, let's face it, you flat out said, I'm going to lie, when I first watched it, I thought he won. I thought Santos won, right? Yeah. Oh. So, and then ever since then, he's been engaging with wars with people like Israel, as we know, Dominick Reyes, as we know. I'm like Colby.
Corey Anderson.
Corey Anderson, but Corey Anderson ain't so much of the new school guys. I'm thinking more of the youngins that just come to sport, right? And I'm like, Johnny Walker. And I'm like, and I'm trying then. I'm thinking, are you just insecure for these young guys? Because to me, I've always felt I love Israel. You know this. I feel Jon Jones is too big for him. Straight up, I've always felt that. As much as I pray, because you know I hate Jon Jones. As much as I pray that Israel can do it. My fighting brain. I know I'm a boxing guy, but my fighting brain can't see how Israel gets it done against Jon Jones. Jon Jones is not just a big guy, but he's skilled as well. So I just don't see how he does it. With the Reyes one though, it presents an interesting dynamic because now we've got someone who's taller than Jon Jones, bigger than Jon Jones, has the power that Jon Jones doesn't have. Now, admittedly, Jon Jones has literally everything else. He has the octagon IQ, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the kicks. He's got it all.
Should we revisit Conor and Cowboy? Because everything what you just said, what you just said there about Jon Jones is literally what I was saying about Cowboy. Yeah? Everything you just said there about Jon Jones is everything what I was saying about Cowboy. And everything you just said about Dominick Reyes is what people were saying about Conor. So when you then look at it and say, because what Jon Jones has been saying in the press conferences, he's got a left hand. It's only got a left hand. All he's got is a left hand. And everybody he knocks out, all his fight, he's never won a fight a different way, which is what everybody was saying about Conor. And we've seen Jon Jones win fights by ground and pound, by submissions, knockouts, TKO. He's done it all. Now, Jon Jones is coming into his 15th title defense. 15, not 15 fights.
No,
15 title defenses.
Yeah.
Do you know what you have to be? Do you know how much wars you have to go through? Forget the whole picogram thing. Because I didn't even want to bring that up, but I will anyways. But anyways, forget the whole picogram business, yeah? Right? And just look at his body of work. Because this is what I like about this Jon Jones that's come back. Because look, as much as the same thing, it's the same thing I had for Conor. I would rather see these guys inside the octagon because that's where they are their happiest, and that's where they give us fight fans value for money. They give us value for our time. They give us something to talk about, positive things about them, what they're really doing in the octagon. All that extra shit, I don't want to see that. You know, I want to see them really doing, you know, what they're born to do. These are excellent elite of the elite fighters. And when they've been banned for so long for stupidness, it drives me up the wall because you really want to see them get at it. And I've been so happy that Jon Jones has been back and he's been very active. He promised he was going to be active last year. He was. I think he had 3 fights last year, and he's promised to be very active this year. I can see him doing 3 fights again this year, maybe 4, if he doesn't take a lot of damage. Because probably that Santos fight will probably be the only fight where he took that much damage. He put Anthony Smith away like in no time. Did he fight? No. Who else did he fight? Anthony Smith.
He had 2 fights last year. It was Smith and Santos, and then obviously now we've come to Reyes. So he's fought, number 1 contenders. Let's be real, he's just cleaning out the division before he steps up to heavyweight.
Look, he knows there are going to be hungry guys that.
I know you're thinking of Gustafsson.
Gustafsson, that's it. It was at the end of the year. That's why I thought it was 3 fights. Yeah. So to me, I just think he's been active, and I expect him to be active again this year. And maybe Reyes could give him the nice sending off he needs, the nudge that he needs to go into heavyweight. He might want an immediate rematch if he goes sideways for Jones. But right now, as much as I want to predict a win for Reyes, deep down, it's 60-40. It's 60-40 Jones.
Yeah,
I have to give it 60-40 Jones. But Reyes definitely has a chance.
Logic dictates Jones takes this. But I must admit, I also like looking beyond logic sometimes and looking at psychology. I think he's wary of this fight. I really do. I think he's wary of the fight. I think he's wary of the dynamics of the fact that he can't use. One of the things that Jones loves to use against opponents is his reach. He ain't going to be able to do that against Reyes.
Come to think of it, Reyes is 77 reach and Jones is 84.5. Jones is a long guy. Do you know the only guy that's longer than Jones in the whole of UFC? Huh?
Look at Tyson Fury.
No, Tyson Fury is in boxing. In the whole of UFC.
No. You said UFC, yeah.
In the whole of UFC is Stefan Struve. The only guy that's longer than Jones is Stefan Struve, and he's in the heavyweight division. He's literally longer than everyone. His wingspan is madness, and he knows how to use it. He knows how to control with it. And Anthony Smith, in his interview with Ariel Awani, I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm sure a few man in the chat's probably seen that. He's coming out saying that Reyes does not know what he's getting himself into. And there's, the man told him, so, tell us some of these things that you're talking about. He said, listen, Jones. Yes.
Oh, I found that interview fascinating.
I find it fascinating, man. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Because he was just real. He just said, all right, I'll tell you what.
I'm just going to be honest.
Straight up, right?
Everyone that likes you, that fucks with you.
He was saying stuff that you didn't even know. Like,
you don't count into that shit. People like us don't get to see that side of things.
He'll just be like, listen, he'll come late to press conferences. He'll try and influence how
they change venues. They change venues because of him. And that's what got Corey Anderson so pissed off, because he had to pay for his flight and his missus' flight, and his missus was like 8 months pregnant. These things infuriate guys. It pisses them off. You know what I mean? Everybody's sucking on Jones's dick. You know what I mean? And they're thinking, what the fuck is going on? This is the type of thing that it just infuriates people, and it fucking drives them off the wall. And in the end, it throws you off your game. It throws you off your game, and then to do all of that to you, and then he's a better fighter than you, and he's got the experience of main eventing, headlining, and defending straps against the best of the best. You don't throw that. You don't throw that experience for nothing. That experience counts for a lot. Having said all of that, I still think Reyes will win.
Reyes.
Having said everything else,
Reyes will win.
Yeah, I think Reyes will get. I think he'll be the one to dethrone him. I don't want him to be the one, because I want a Corey Anderson to get in there and have a shot. But I really do.
What? I shit you not, right? I was gonna say the same thing.
Oh shit!
Until I watched something today, and I was like, I must be smoking bone. I am Jon
Archie just put in the chat that I'm on my own. It turns out I'm not on my own.
I was this close. I was this close to shocking. I thought I was going to shock you. I was this close to shocking Ola and saying, I'm going to pick Reyes. I honestly, do you know what I had? I had this Masvidal-like feeling. When Masvidal faced Askren, and I just thought, Masvidal's got this.
Bro, and listen, there's been so many times where people has gone into fights.
I just don't
nobody thinks they're gonna win. Ronda Rousey, who thought Olehon was gonna spark her up?
Yeah,
nobody thought that was gonna happen. There's fights like that just like Aldo. Aldo's been defending for 10 years. 10 years. And he got packed out in 13 seconds by Conor. You know what I mean? It happens. Eddie Barrow, that's another example. 8 years he was defending his title.
Yeah. See, for me, you're right, because I think Jon Jones beats Israel because Jon Jones will understand that's a big fight. This fight ain't a big fight. but he understands the threat that Dominick Reyes is.
Absolutely.
And this is usually where you lose concentration and you lose against people like this. It's like when people talk about who is Liverpool going to lose against this season, it ain't going to be anyone in the top 6. It's going to be
It'll be some dead team.
Some dumb team like Burnley or something. It'll be like an own goal or some shit. There should have been VAR'd and it wasn't. That's just what's going to happen. You know? I think these are how it's like. Who thought? Everyone knew at some point Anthony Joshua would be beat. Who the fuck thought Andy Ruiz?
Ruiz would be the guy to do it. You know what I mean?
These are the sort of
20 knockouts in, and he get bamboozled by Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fight game, and these things happen.
It's like when Ronda faced Holly Holm. All right, for the hardcores, you knew that Holly Holm was a boxing champion. She was undefeated at the time. Maybe she was going to cause Ronda problems. If we're being honest, I completely thought the fight was on until I heard that Ronda actually lost, and I was cracking up, right? And those are the sort of fights those aren't the big fights. Everyone was expecting Cyborg to kill her.
I'm telling you right now, I was just going to say that. As much as we gave Amanda Nunes props, nobody really thought Nunes was really going to go and fuck up Cyborg like that. Not in the first round. Like, you know, there's people that just got power, and their power can shut your lights out just like that. When I look at the way this guy dropped OSP, and OSP is no dickhead. You know what I mean? When I look at the way he dropped OSP, I thought, what the hell? What the hell?
Having said all the things I've just said, I feel like Jones will come out of it. But I also feel like he's going to get a hell of a scare. A hell of a scare.
Probably his toughest fight.
I think it's
going to be DC.
An Askren type thing where you're like, oh shit, you don't scramble or something, you're going to get fucked up. It's going to be something like that. So that's why I can't quite say Reyes will be my
bro. Where are you, man? Get off the fence, man.
No. I'm pretty close. I ain't like it's close, bro. I'm almost there, but I can't quite do it. I can't. I feel like Jones will panic after this, and he'll do something dramatic, like either call Israel out or call out a Stipe or someone like that for his next fight. But I feel like this fight is going to change him. I don't think this is going to be a simple Anthony Smith, take him apart, pick him out. I don't think so. I feel like there is something that is spooking Jon Jones out about this guy, because he seems to have taken this instant dislike. To say, oh, well, he doesn't like him because he talks about his party favors. Mate, that's what's going to happen going forward for you for the rest of your life. You ran over a pregnant woman. Like, who the fuck does that? Of course people are talking about that. If that's the whole reason you have beef with someone, good luck for the rest of your fighting career. That's a nonsense excuse.
Yeah, right? It is. It really is.
There is something that is spooking him out about this opponent. And I feel like we will see problems. But Jon Jones, as much as I can't stand him, he's a GOAT for a reason. He's the GOAT for the reason.
No, Jon Jones is the very best to ever do it. At least as far as that division is concerned. He's the best to ever do it. He is. As far as that division is concerned. No one's done it better than Jones. But, you know, he's defending his title for a reason, because somebody else wants it. And this person that wants it, obviously, they've made their preparations as well. Like I said, I'll give you 60-40 Jones, because I realize what Jones brings to the table. I realize his skill set. I realize his experience. I realize that he's done it so many times before. I realize all of that, which is why I'm giving it 60-40. But I'm going to just put my neck out there and go with Reyes. Because I'm not just putting my neck out there, I'm putting my money where my mouth is as well.
I know. You bet hard. When you pick, you bet hard.
Yeah, I already gone 120 on Reyes.
Oh my God,
Yeah, man.
Too much money on these things, bro.
Nah, bro. You know what I mean? That's my thrill, man. I don't do nothing else. All I do is fucking work. You know what I mean? All I do is work, man. So when times like this come, you know what I mean? I try and enjoy it because for me um it makes me enjoy the fight a lot more. I get that's my thrill. That's my
So you're
thrill, man.
invested in it,
I,
aren't you?
yeah, you know what I mean. I'm a bit more invested in it, you know. So I just do it for fun, but it is what it is, you know what I mean. Yeah, man. So you know, I've got 120 with Reyes. Like I said, Reyes is the smart money, which is why if you're gonna back somebody that's 60-40, you know, if he wins on the off chance, you're getting way more. Like Jones is like a 1-7 to win. He's so favorite. It's ridiculous. They put in the odds at the same odds that they put Anthony Smith for us to win this fight. That's how much that, fuck off, Si. That's how
Right.
much.
I think I've triggered covert racism by saying that he ran over a pregnant woman. All right, he crashed into a pregnant woman when the pregnant woman was driving. Is that any better? Because he then ran straight afterwards, came back, took his drugs and money, and then then technicalities. Blimey, man.
Yeah, to come back and take your things and fuck off again.
You know what I mean?
Only a dark
He's
soul.
so offended that I would use this terminology of ran. All right, mate. Sorry, he crashed into a pregnant woman, came
Only
back,
a dark soul will do that, man.
and came and ran, and then ran off. Is that any better? Do you feel better for me clarifying that? My word, mate. Oh gosh, just spamming my chat like a madman.
Nah, it's all right. It's all right. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, as long as we're being respectful in the chat, that's the main thing, you know. The one thing that I do want to say though, Jones, if he wins this fight, I don't think there's anyone left for him because I would have loved to see the Thiago Santos run back. I would have loved to see them to run it back.
Not even Corey.
This who?
Not even Corey.
Yeah, well, yeah. Corey Anderson. I did forget about that.
I think he whoops Jan Blachowicz' ass next week.
That's gonna be a closer fight than what you give it.
Nah,
it's gonna be a closer fight. But
basic.
Yeah,
he's basic.
But
he's basic.
Corey Anderson is on a mission. He's on a mission to get Jon Jones. Like he's on this path, and anything that's in front of him.
I should have known. I've heard Covert's feelings, so he started to insult me. So how about I just block this?
Yeah. Come on, like I said, let's be respectful, guys. You know what I mean? There's no point being disrespectful to people. Let's be respectful.
He's 12 years old. I've hurt his feelings. It's fine.
So at the end of the day, Corey Anderson is definitely after Jon Jones. So. Yeah, it could be the next one. It could be the next one, depending on what happens between him and Jan Blachowicz. Oh yeah, did you hear the news on the fight that's getting made? Zabit versus T City, Brian Ortega.
Okay, nice.
Apparently that's in the works.
Wow.
That's ongoing and
what for 145?
No. It's
right?
I think it could be a fight night. I think it could be a fight night.
What for 155?
Oh, for 155, yeah.
Oh, so he's stepping up then, Ortega.
No, 145.
Oh,
for 145. They both. Yeah, Zabit.
You know, in my mind, I had Islam in my head.
No, Zabit.
Yeah, Zabit. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So Magomed Sharipov.
Oh, there's two cash cows as well.
I think them two, they're gonna dance. I definitely want to see those two. If it happens, I mean, they were saying they'd rather see Yair Rodriguez. I wouldn't be mad to see Yair Rodriguez and Zabit. I wouldn't be mad to see both of them. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to see both of them to do it as well. So, but from what they're saying, Zabit Magomed Sharipov and Brian Ortega, I think he's going to be those two when eventually gets done and gets announced. So it's something to definitely look out for. And that's in the current event. And tomorrow, press conference for 248. So that's going to be.
It's 248 again.
Yo Romero and Israel Adesanya. Yeah, tomorrow is the press conference.
Of course, they'd make sure Izzy and John are somewhere in the vicinity.
Yeah. You know they love to stir the pot, man. You know what I mean? You know they love to stir the pot, and wherever they can, they will. They did it with Masvidal and Usman with that Super Bowl business.
They so set them up. They so set.
I don't think the thing was never gonna fight, man.
I don't think the thing was fake, but I do feel like what I feel like that probably happened is. I know that you guys are pissed off with each other anyway. We've got to sell this fight a little bit.
Yeah.
Ham it up. Be loud about it. Make sure the cameras are with you.
They did a good job. They did a good job because I was fucking talking about it on the day, and yeah, they did a good job. So we'll see if that fight actually happens. You know, but for me, it's all about. The fight that I'm most looking forward to, I don't know if it's going to happen, is in April, Ramadan time. I really don't know if it's going to happen. I pray it happens. We need it to happen. The whole world wants to see it. Mm-hmm. You know, Sai wants to see it. I want to see it. You want to see it. Everybody wants to see it. I just want closure on it. You know, one of those where you just want closure. I just want closure on it, man. And yeah,
249.
That fight, yeah, Tony Khabib.
I don't even want to say that. I don't want to say it. Just don't even say it.
I don't want. That's what I'm trying to. I'm not even trying to. I just want closure.
I'm trying to ignore that fight. I've not asked you about it once,
bro. I'm trying to ignore.
For me, I'm trying to pretend like it ain't even happening.
It's a jinx fight, man. But
yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I refuse. In fact, we're gonna do a preview for that, and we ain't even gonna mention the fight. I ain't gonna mention the fight.
Surprise! Let's go, Tony. Sides. Surprise! Oh yeah, surprise.
Khabib's my guy, man. Especially for what he's done for Nigeria. Khabib's my guy, bro.
Yeah, can't lie, man. You know, but I love El Kukoyi as well. Both of them two guys. I
just like how batshit crazy.
He's just mad. I was watching a video with Will the other day. Shout out to my brethren Will. You know Will. I was watching a video with him the other day, and this guy was going mad with Vadum. Them two, Vadum was talking all Portuguese, Brazilian to him, and it was saying, "Bro, what the fuck are you What are you talking about? You know, what I mean, speak English like you." Them two got up and square up each other and everything. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ! Like Tony, don't give a damn. Did you just stand up and square up with the heavyweight? And Vadum don't play, you know. So he was gonna wrap up Kobe when Kobe was you know what I mean? He was gonna wrap him up. So Vadum don't play like that. He don't play them things there. So you know, it's just one of those. You gotta love El Kukoyi, man. You gotta love Tony. But yeah, it's one that we need closure. We need closure. You know, talking about closure, I think that's the end of.
That's the show. One more question before we're out. Obviously, it started the show. I don't think it was Archie. I think someone else put it in there.
Yeah.
Let's finally talk about this. The Conor McGregor versus Khabib fight. Now, so many people are desperate to make this happen. We've obviously seen Saudi, for the very first time, make a boxing-like offer to UFC, and basically said, if you somehow make this fight and you host it here, we'll give you 100 mil. That's on top of whatever it is you're already doing. So you can pay these man however you like. We'll give you 100 mil, right? Which obviously would be amazing for UFC. Does this fight happen for you?
I think there's every likelihood that this fight happens over the Tony one. And I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
I think the UFC, if there's ever a chance to make money fights, they go for it. But for the purists, they want to see this fight. They want to see Tony. They don't care about the whole money thing. There's questions that need to get answered. These two are at the top of the mountain. They've come from different sides of the mountain, and now they're here.
They're there.
So who's going to do it? Let's not forget Tony only got stripped because he had that dickhead injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He still be interim champ.
You know, he should still be interim champ. He only got stripped because of that dickhead injury he had. So, like, really and truly, for me, is as much a champ as Khabib is. Let's be honest. Just look at the people he's run through. Just look at the way he's run through the division. And he's beating legit world-class fighters.
Could this happen, what Archie just said?
The
way Khabib is talking, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, there's only one more fight that he'll do after Conor.
The GSP.
And that's GSP. That's GSP. That's the only fight I see him doing after Conor. If GSP wants that fight to happen. So, and that's probably the only fight that I really think he can't win. You know what I mean? That's the only fight that I think he's. That's the only fight that I think is just one too much to ask for.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
See the way he bitched Michael Bisping.
Oh my God!
GSP at his natural weight is a bigger man than Khabib. I just don't see how he gets it done.
I don't see how he does it. Like everybody keeps calling out GSP, man. Like GSP is just looking at everybody like, you're not even mad. Like, just live your lives. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? Do what you're doing. Like, Woodley wanted him. Usman's begging for him. Khabib wants him. Everybody wants this guy. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Usman, the Usman fight, forget fanfare, from a technical point of view, Usman GSP is an interesting matchup because I think Usman is more multi-dynamic with his wrestling, whereas Khabib is very straightforward. You just run.
I just don't think
that's it.
I just don't think any of them can do what GSP does. GSP is the most calculating fucking fighter that I've ever had the pleasure of fucking watching. And I keep going back to one fight. It's one of my favorite fights of his, and it's probably the most underrated one. How he dealt with Josh Koscheck.
I've seen highlights.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he destroyed his face with jabs, just pure jabs. He fucked his shit up. I mean, when we're talking about somebody, his jabbing is so precise and his thief and when he touches you, it's like a fucking full-on punch. And GSP is just like that. He's so calculating. He knows what he wants to do. He's 2-3 moves ahead of you before you even fucking do one move. And you know, it's like a Jones in a way, but just way more technical. And I don't see how any of them. To me, I just think they should leave GSP alone and carry on with what they're doing.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, that's that. That pretty much brings us to the end of the show. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. This is interesting. Yeah. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. It's the first time me and Ola have been on the same show on the channel. So
on this channel here,
share this show around. You guys know how to do it. I'm sure all of you guys have got like Twitter and Insta and shit like that. Go and tell people to check this out. Get our numbers up, especially if you know they're MMA people. So go check this out. And
we'd really appreciate it. We'd really, really appreciate it.
Are we going to review this Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to review it. No.
Okay, so let's review it. We're going to review it on Sunday. Also, me and Ola are going to try and do these shows a little bit more regularly, which is why, if you notice, we've not talked about Wilder and Fury. That's because we're going to be back to talk about Wilder and Fury and preview that fight. We know it's on the 22nd, so we'll make sure in the lead up to that we talk about that fight a lot as well. All right. All right, guys. We are out of here. In the meantime, enjoy your evening. Take care. Ola.
Salute.
All right. Peace.